In this lesson, we'll discuss the last few versions of Joomla from 1.0, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, and now the current version of 2.5. We'll discuss the current features of this newest release of 2.5, and then we'll review some of the upgrade procedures that you can take moving from the different releases. Back in 2005, Joomla 1.0 was released. If you currently have a version of Joomla that's still 1.0, it is safe and it is secure. Although it is safe and secure, Joomla no longer supports this version. What that means is it's no longer putting out additional releases of Joomla 1.0. In addition, companies don't supply components or tools for it, so when you're extending Joomla, if you currently have Joomla 1.0, you won't find many new tools that you could work with it. The latest long-term release that we have is Joomla 1.5. That was released in 2008. It is also safe and secure. This release will be supported until April of 2012. What that means is if you currently have Joomla 1.5, there could be additional bug releases that are set out for security reasons and things of that nature. Also, with Joomla 1.5, no new features are going to be created for this version of Joomla. Currently, most of the components that are available to you exist for Joomla 1.5 and newer versions. But currently what's starting to happen is many third-party developers are stopping the development of their tools in Joomla 1.5. Joomla 1.6 and 1.7 initially was released in 2011 as Joomla 1.6. It is also safe and secure. And then Joomla 1.7, that actually came out in July of 2011. Currently, Joomla will no longer support these versions, which means the Joomla team will no longer put out any bug releases or fixes for them. Joomla 1.6 or 1.7 had significant changes to these functionalities of systems. The most exciting features that were included with this release: complete ACL security, the access control list. In 1.6, Joomla finally jumped on the bandwagon and allows you to create different groups to edit different areas of your website. In addition, the concept of multi-nested categories were added, or the concept of sections were removed. Sections were used in Joomla 1.0 and 1.5. The advantage of the multi-nested categories means you can nest your categories an unlimited number of times, which really helps for article management. Another nice feature in Joomla 1.6 and 1.7 are template styles. This gives you the capability of being able to make different versions of your templates without having to change all of the hardcode files about them. The current release is Joomla 2.5. This release has all of the functionality that we loved from 1.6 and 1.7, such as the ACL, the template styles, and all of the changes that they added to them. But 2.5 is considered a long-term release, which means it will be supported for at least 18 months. There are a lot of new functionality changes in 2.5. First of all, as mentioned before, it contains all of the functionality from 1.5, plus the new features from 1.6 and 1.7. A new piece that was added is a menu item parameter of note, meaning that you can put in notes about your different menu items. A very exciting feature is the Joomla update notification button in the Quick Icons module, which means that when you first log into your site on the back end, there'll actually be a button available to you telling you that there is a new release of Joomla. You can click on it and you will update your Joomla system to that new release. Another option is you can set your Joomla to site offline during installation, which means while you're in the process of installing your Joomla site, you can default it to make sure the site is offline so other people cannot get into it. It has a true autoloader to the CMS. It also has a database version check, so you can verify the correct version of the database. And there's more features. They improved the SEO tremendously with the new system plugin for language code. Another feature that's been asked for many, many years is adding the ability to support other databases, starting with Microsoft SQL Server. and more information about user notes. You now have the ability to use the images and URL fields to create simple standardized layouts. What this will allow you to do is you'll be able to add an image to your article, and through some fancy CSS code, you can have that image displayed in a certain way of the article. It's almost like templating your actual articles. CAPTCHA in the core. This is something I know I've been looking forward to. When you have new registrations come into the system, by default, you can turn on the CAPTCHA code. So that means you will get less spam. In the olden days, you would have to install an additional outside component to do this. Finder integration, which helps with your searching. What to review when you're upgrading. The following are the items you need to verify that they're compatible with whatever release you may be moving to. All components, all modules, all plugins, and all templates. How complex is the upgrade? When you're moving from Joomla 1.5 to Joomla 2.5, there are some very important things you must consider. First of all, you have to install 2.5 separately. I also recommend you install from scratch your template, your components, and your modules. There are upgrade tools where you can bring your content from Joomla 1.5 over to the 2.5 environment. So that's a good sign. You can move the content over. It's all these other pieces that you have to work from carefully. An upgrade such as this could take you an hour to several hours to do. A lot of times this is a great opportunity to perhaps select a new template or a design. Obviously, the site has been up for a couple of years, or to maybe change the components you might be using for whatever reason. This is a great opportunity to do it. And as mentioned, the content can be migrated over. Now, the good news, if you're moving from Joomla 1.6 or 1.7 over to Joomla 2.5, this upgrade is just a simple install. But you still need to verify that all of your tools, your components will work. If you're currently on 1.6, you may want to consider upgrading to 1.7 first and then go to 2.5. But you have to make sure that this upgrade option is even available to you at that time. In this lesson, we discussed the last few versions and their features from Joomla 1.0 all the way up to Joomla 2.5. We also discussed in detail the different features of the current release of Joomla 2.5. Then lastly, I reviewed the upgrade process between the different versions.